Oh, it's Friday. Good morning, Alex. Actually, good afternoon, Alex. Good afternoon, Malcolm. Hello, Peggy. Craig El Dragon. Good morning. They're saying hello to Dolly. Hello, Dolly. That always reminds me of this might be a little bit before a lot of you. The Animaniacs, when they would say hello, nurse. So this is hello, Dolly. Hello, Wendy. Good morning. That's okay, Robert. You can hang out, lurk in the back. I can see the post too online. Let's see. Are there any questions in there? No. In the Q&A? No. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, I used to watch the Animaniacs with my kids, and they would never understand why I was laughing, because the Animaniacs was never really a show for kids. It was for adults. Good morning, Darren. Let's see, what is John saying? I'm in work meeting, can't stick around, so I'm actually having to talk. Silence defeats the purpose. Thank you for at least popping in and saying hello, John. Have a great day and a great weekend. Hello, Stacy. I hope everything is okay in Louisiana. You guys look like you're ready for another storm, it looks like. I hope that one misses you guys. Good morning, Cynthia. Good afternoon, Davina. Hello. Oh, Jeanette. Good old dark 30. Jeez. What time is it over there, Jeanette? Is it really 12:30 a.m.? Is that 12:30 a.m. Old Dark 30? I'm gonna have to watch that, Craig. Especially Pinky in the Brain. Wow, I'm on a 65-inch TV. That is the size worthy of my size. Yeah, 65-inch. Hello, Audrey. Welcome. Question Queen Audrey. Hello, Ayrton. Waving to Ayrton. Hello, Ayrton. Hello, Tanya. Good morning. We are live on YouTube with 4 people. Hello, 4 people on YouTube. Good morning. Welcome. It is a crazy storm season, Stacy. I hope you guys are staying safe over there. Good morning, Linda. Gravitas. Yeah, Alex, I think I agree. It's certainly a sense of gravitas. But the comedic aspects of Animaniacs, and here we are discussing the deeper aspects of Animaniacs, they really did escape most of the children that watched for the actual animation. But the writing of that show was very adult oriented, for sure. Davina says 65 inches. Quick, hold Peaches up to the camera for a screenshot of 65 inches of Peaches. Hold on. 65 inches of Peaches. How can I forget Peaches? 65 inches of Peaches. Here you go. Let me give you his good side. There you go. Yeah, Eta is supposed to, or Eta, as they're calling it, is supposed to become a hurricane again and hit south of you. So just be safe, be aware. 3:30 a.m. Jeez, Jeanette, thank you for being here. I'm usually up at crazy odd hours, but 3:30 is early. Yeah, I liked Animaniacs when I watched it again after I was a little older. So yes. Good morning, Beverly. Welcome. Yeah, Ice Age, the same thing. More, Malcolm, you're right. All right, I'm going to go into our normal announcements, so let's start. Shout out to the tribe, to the family, to everyone that's, part of the Sanchez family, to all the little ones, to all the big ones. Dolly and my sister Lisa, who's out there somewhere. I think she's off today. She's in meetings, but she's at work. To everyone who's on YouTube, hello, and thank you for joining us on YouTube. I think that's really awesome that you're there. If you see us on YouTube, I know Chris hates when I do this. The awesome work that you're seeing on YouTube is because of Chrisman, all right? And he does fantastic work, and he's one of the main reasons we're on YouTube, because he's taken that on and he's pushed us there. So do the mob a favor, do us all a favor. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, and share the channel as much as you can. This is, what are we, episode 35 of the Mob TV Cafe Clutch. So follow us, subscribe, and share. Hit that subscribe button, and then hit the little bell, and you'll know when we're out there. So Chris is working his technomancy on YouTube. He makes sure that it's a smooth transition over there. We have 5 new subscribers. That is awesome. Thank you to everyone who subscribes, who's subscribing right now as we're doing this. Thank you for subscribing. And each person, it's just, I appreciate you subscribing. We also have our Instagram page, which is at Bitten Peaches. So find us there. I haven't really posted much up there, but I'm going to try and be a little bit more diligent about that and post more little excerpts, because it's pretty awesome. There's so many, and I try not to have repeats, and I got to do it. I have to actually do that on my phone, because Instagram is designed that way. So you have to find the quote. I have a special program called Quote Creator on my phone, and I download the quote in a special format, and it has special backgrounds. It's a whole thing, and then I have to upload it to Instagram. So it's kind of involved. That's why you don't see me do it as often as I want to, but I'll be more diligent about that. Don't forget our ZAZZLE store, because our ZAZZLE store is, like, you know, incredible. Dolly has put up so many things. In addition to the skateboard decks, Dolly has put so many things up on our ZAZZLE store. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys my mask. I think I did last time, but this is a good time to get masks. This is the one that I got on my ZAZZLE store. Pretty awesome. You too could be wearing peaches. Fantastic. So don't forget to get your mask. And I'm gonna have to slow down my speech a little bit so I don't run through everything so quickly, and you guys can stay up with me. Hello Tammy, welcome. Ayrton has asked Davina to tell me that there are things he should tell me about. Okay. So where's the question Jeanette asked? I'm sorry that the feed goes by so fast. Oh, here it goes. About being, oh, okay. Oh, that's a good question, Jeanette. Okay, so did you get Jeanette's question? Save it for the end. It's about mage power levels. It should be coming up. Yeah, save that for the end. We'll answer that at the question section of the episode at the end. That's because it's a really good question. And thank you for asking it, Jeanette. Is it my second mug of Death Wish? No, this is my first mug, but I've been nursing it because of the show today. But usually I'd be pretty much done by now. That's answering Malcolm. Hello, Laura. Welcome. Yes, Stacy has a Peaches mask too. So yes, you can get that at the ZAZZLE store. Some of you are aware that we have a newsletter. It's another thing I have to be more diligent about. But if you're not aware, go join the newsletter. I try to put up things that a lot of people who aren't in the mob need to find out about, or when books are going out, or one-day sales, because usually the books are only on sale for 1 day now, sometimes even less than a day. So you go to www.orlandoasanchez.com, and you go to that page, and on the top of that page, it has a sign-up sheet for free stories. The stories you get there are free. You won't find them on Amazon. You won't find them anywhere else. That's the only. There's 3 short stories. That's the only place you'll find them. Sign up, get your stories, join the newsletter, because I'm gonna try and put more things that are newsletter specific, and focus more on putting things on that newsletter. So the newsletter is called A Bite of the Peach, which is pretty awesome. So Dolly just put up the link. Go there, click the link, and join. Third cup, Malcolm. Yeah, Malcolm, you're gonna start seeing colors soon, hearing colors soon, and seeing sounds. You may want to slow that down, Malcolm. Just saying, you don't have to. Once you start vibrating past the frequency of this plane, you'll know that you have too much. Bradley, thank you. This shirt was a birthday gift. It's the, you know what it is. I don't have to say what it is. Jeez. Yes, it's my Millennium Falcon shirt. It's awesome. And you have it. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great shirt. I like it. I like the retro colors of it, which remind me of the original Kenner toys of the original Star Wars. Yeah. Okay, so also, I'm on BookBub, and we have so many followers in the mob, but we don't have that many followers on BookBub, so I'm trying to increase our presence everywhere. So go to BookBub and just follow. You just have to, I think you just have to click a link to follow us there too. So follow us on BookBub as well. Follow me on BookBub. This is like, this can become a singularity. It's so dark. And it starts kind of made it a death wish, Bubba Mug. These things are awesome, and it keeps everything cold or hot, like all day. So it's really awesome. Tammy, make sure you friend me on Goodreads too. A coffee singularity. I think Malcolm is working on a coffee singularity with the amount of death wish he's having. Creamer. Deathwish laughs at Creamer, Craig. You know that. Jeanette is asking another question. Let's see, Jeanette. Jeanette, it's awesome you're asking questions. Sometimes Simon talks about the rage, and it seems to be implied that this is pre-M&S. Is that part of Simon's history we're still waiting on? Yes. That is part of Simon's history that comes out in the next book, which is called Requiem. And it's alluded to, it's actually alluded to at the part that I'm writing right now. That whole, it's a little bit of a peek into the prehistory. And hashtag dragons, because Requiem deals with dragons. So hashtag Craig, Villains United, hashtag dragons. More dragons are needed, definitely. So yeah, so that's going to be in Requiem, which is the next book after Walking the Razor. Which is currently at, oh my god. I can tell you right now what Walking the Razor is at. 51,000 words, and I'm still like only 2/3 in, so this is gonna be fun. Let's see. Yes, Malcolm, you made the first death wish. Your mom added coffee, creamer, and it didn't change color. Yeah, no, it's not gonna change color. Let's see what Adrian says. 2 creations. The first is a sub bulb, which is a sub with a bulb and a camera. Cool. In the rotor, that works if you put the bulb in the driver cab. That's pretty cool, actually. It's a nice idea. And the next is part Transformer, part regular rescue. His name is Ladder. Cool. I think the Transformers have, there's a whole group of Transformers that I think were rescue vehicles, or like first responder vehicles, like a fire truck, an ambulance, and things like that. So look into that for him. I think at some point you're gonna have to, Davina. Marianne, hello. Yes, the shred is coming for WTR. It's coming. It's coming soon. Soon. TM. So yes. Actually, here's what's going to happen. So let me get into the updates. So the art for Walking the Razor is going to be this month. Probably, let's see, today's the 6th. Probably in 2 weeks, if everything bodes well. So in about 2 weeks, you'll probably have the Walking the Razor as an art. Simultaneously with that, there's going to be an art for They Bite. The cover that you saw yesterday, that one's almost done. So But the Nixia White stories aren't going to release. There's 3 of them. They aren't going to be released until the 3rd. I learned my lesson with Rule of the Council. So I'm gonna write they bite. The Nixia White stories are they bite, they rend, and they kill. Those stories aren't going to be released until all 3 are done. But the arts will happen simultaneously with other books. So the plan is to release the art for Walking the Razor and release the art for They Bite. For They Bite. Walking the Razor goes out live, obviously, but They Bite will be kind of in the back burner until the other 2 parts are written. For the next ones that are coming up, I'm gonna do simultaneously Nameless, which is the next Sepia story, Requiem, which is the Monty Strong story. So those are 2 full-length novels, and then They Rend, which is the next Nixia White story. So I'll be doing all 3 books at the same time. Will I be sleeping? Probably not. But those 3 books will get done, and I'll make sure I get plenty of downtime. So those 3 will be done at the same time, and the only ones that really has to, so it'll actually be the same time written, but the sequence will be Nameless, Requiem, They Rend. Hello, Mary Elaine. Welcome. Yes, Sepia, Stefan. Welcome. So let's see. Davina says I had my coffee with milk and sugar, which was interesting when I tried Death Wish caffeine plus. Yeah, that much. If you have sugar, how much sugar do we put in my Death Wish? Like 2? Almost nothing. I think Dolly just takes the sugar and she waves it past the cup, because putting sugar in Death Wish, for you to actually taste the sugar, you have to put in about half a pound. So it's not good for you. Good morning, Timothy. Welcome. Yeah, so around there, Marianne, around that time for Walking the Razor for the art, I want to give you guys time to do the art, but not cut into Thanksgiving so much. So Walking the Razor will be about next week. They Rend will be about the same time, and then I jump right into Nameless. So yeah, just stop. Don't add the sugar. If you could manage it, don't add the sugar to the Death Wish. Yeah, Mark, that's I used to tell myself I would never do that, so I made a conscious effort. Mark is saying I'm crazy to write multiple books at the same time, but my hero is Isaac Asimov, who used to write many books. Back then, there weren't computers like there are now. He would have typewriters around the house, and I've told this story before. He would have several typewriters around the house with several stories in progress. So when he got tired of one story, all he would do was take a break and then go to another typewriter and start the next story. So yeah. Carolyn wants to know if I put the description for Nameless. No, I have not put out the description for Nameless. I haven't even started writing it. I have the description, I have the cover, I have the story, but I don't usually put out the description yet. I will, though. I will. As I get closer to when I start writing it, I will. And maybe I'll give a few snippets of Nameless early on, because we've been waiting so long for Sepia. What did Heather ask? Can Simon get close enough to Monty to... Oh, I missed it. What is the question that Heather asked? Can Simon get close enough to Monty to do something?
Close enough to Monty to place a control rune on him.
To place a control rule on him. You don't want Simon manipulating runes. It's never a good thing. No. Yeah, Jeanette. I used to drink the Odin Force, the Valhalla. It's not strong enough for me anymore. Yeah. Caffeine and Skittles. Ooh, that's a dangerous comment. That's like Mentos and Coke. Don't do that. So what do you mean you get in? Oh, you get into moods. So I don't know. Can you elaborate on that, Mark, a bit more? Like you get into moods. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Chris, that's what I've been doing. So Chris he's been writing that way. Chris is writing several chapters at a time, and he gets stuck, go to another chapter. And so what I've done with this book is that I'll write Walking the Razor in the morning, take a break, then write They Bite in the afternoon. And I found that to work really well. So all I'm going to do is just add another segment. So it'll be Nameless, Requiem, They Rend. So let's see. Yeah, I try. When I have time to read, Tammy, I'll either blaze through one book or I'll read several books at different times. Davina says Ayrton has 2 reading badge awards from school for doing lots of reading. That's excellent. Tell him to keep reading. Oh, Craig, that is such a great story. Enjoy. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to spoil it. Craig is reading the Christmas story at the end of the last Dresden book. So I'm not going to say anything. Enjoy it. It's a really great little story. Jeanette, listen. Take the death wish slow. Don't pull a Malcolm. That's all I can tell you. This stuff is strong. So let's continue. What do we have? How much time do we have? See, I'm almost through half everything. I've got to speak much slower. And maybe we can just really hang out and, you know, just take it this. I never speak like that. Sorry. I'd have to be like under the influence of very, very strong narcotics to speak like that. Okay, so yes, Paige has been your death wish dealer. I know. Shout out to Paige for sending out the death wish. Okay. He says Aaron says he's gonna read so much he gets the next badge, which is the silver one. Oh, that's cool. So tell him to keep reading. Yeah, for sure. It's an excellent thing. I always loved reading when I was younger. Mark says I read multiple genres: fantasy, science fiction, mystery, spy thrillers, legal thrillers, nonfiction. I'm usually reading multiple. Yeah, I'm the same way, except that now I spend most of my time writing. But yeah. Alex says the caffeine prevents slowing down. Is that what it is? That I'm increasing my vibrant, my velocity with the caffeine? It could happen. Yes, Chris. The theme songs this morning. It boggled my mind how many of these things I remembered, and then as I'm bringing them up or listening to them, 'cause I would just listen to a little bit. I immediately remembered the lyrics. I remembered how the next musical section. It was incredible how many of those I knew. That it just came to mind. Hello, Joe. Welcome. Good morning on my end. ADR, the attention defensive readers disorder. Yes, I'm currently in the progress of reading at least 4 books. Wow. Well, go for it. 4 books on each of your 3 readers at the same time, Craig. That's amazing. I don't think I could do that now, because what I do now is I'll just read really fast. So I'll stick to one thing and read it fast. Oh, I've been reading Bird by Bird by, I think it's Annie Lamott. What's Bird by? Can you find out who wrote Bird by Bird? Really good book for writers. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It's not a how-to. It's more of an inspirational kind of like, this is what it takes to be an author in the world, in your life. But it's really good. She has great stories, and she has great anecdotes, is what I want to say. So yeah. So that's what I've been reading. Lamott? Anne Lamott. Yeah, Anne Lamott. So if you're an author or want to be an author, it's a good book for you to read. So try it. I like that, Davina. Attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. Yeah. That's awesome. Joe, how are you holding up over there? Are you okay? Share what you could share. Don't go further than that. All right. Audiobooks. So what's the audiobook that's coming out now? Dragons and Demigods? Okay. There's been a delay with Dragons and Demigods. Not on our end, on Audible end or ACX's end. As Dolly gives me the look of like, I'm going to strangle them. So, Dragons and Demigods is coming out soon. We don't really know when. It's supposed to be out already, right, by now? It should have been out 2 weeks ago. But that was the book that had some ambient things going on in the background. So, yeah. So Dragons and Demigods will be out soon. TM. After that, we have Bullets and Blades. And Bullets and Blades is, the first week of December is when it should come out. So hopefully we'll get it out soon as well. It's Dragons and Demigods that's delayed. Craig says, Craig Martell has an entire series of books for indie authors. Yes, I own all of them. I know Craig, so I got them just to support him, but I also read them, and they're all really good. So if you're an author, Craig Martell put out a nice series of books covering all kinds of topics for authors. So let's see, what else do we have? Jeanette says 1 destruction, 2 destruction, 3 destructions, 4. Looks like Monty and Simon are running around too. Yes. Stacy, don't feel sorry. It was great to have you here. Please stay safe. Be careful with that next storm because it looks like it might be heading in your direction. So just be careful with Eta or Ita. And keep me posted and make sure everybody's okay. A big wave and a hug to everyone. My boxer does that, Davina. When she sees a squirrel in the street, she immediately stops and pulls in that direction. So if Peaches did that, that would cause serious property damage, I think. So I'm not going to have any squirrels in the stories. That would be dangerous. But definitely, Jeanette, audibles for Christmas. Hopefully, Dragons and Demigods will get done. And Bullets and Blades. And it'll be right in time for Christmas. So that'll be fantastic. So, yeah. The ETA for Ita, it's coming, I think, it's on its way. It's ramping up. So I think it's going up in categories. So just be careful if you're in the southern part of the United States. You know, just be aware. Because this year has been horrible for storms down there. So just be aware, guys. Okay. Oh, so I'm going to have another for Requiem probably. Yeah, probably for Requiem in between now and then. I'm gonna hold another character contest. So if this is where you answer a question, so I have to create the question. That's gonna be fun. I have to answer a question, and I get to put you in a book as a character, and you die. Those are the terms and conditions. You have to die in the story when it's part of this character. When it's part of these character contests. So I'll announce it in the mob, but it's really for everyone who comes to Mob TV. So I'll announce it in the mob that there's going to be a contest next, what is it? Not the 13th, but the 20th. And the question will be in the mob episode. The Mob TV, on our Mob TV Cafe Clutch episode. So character creation, character contest where you get to be a character in one of the stories and you get to die. So that'll be the next Mob TV episode. I'll create a question in between now and then. And it's anything from the Monty Strong. Should it be from the series or the world? It's a good question. You guys let me know what you want. I can make it just from the Monty Strong series or from the Monty Strong world, which is a lot wider. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it some thought. What else do we have? Oh, awesome news. So, you know Carrie Ann O'Leary, right? Emily, her sister, took grand prize in the Voice Club short story contest. So she was the grand prize winner, which is fantastic. And I'm sure we had something to do with that, but also mostly her story. Hello, Maureen, welcome. So that is fantastic that she took first prize. I think grand prize is like, even before first prize, like the prize. Let's see, what did Chris say? Blackjacks. Oh, Blackjacks. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned Blackjacks. I was reading the Blackjacks. I was reading the Dread Warlock the other day. And I was commenting to Dolly how, as a sci-fi story, I was really surprised that that story was so put together. So it was so well written. Not giving myself props. I was reading it as a reader, and I was like, wow, that was a really well-written story. I have to go back there, because I have so many stories to tell there. So, but Sepia Blue first. And Requiem, there always has to be a Monty Strong. And I'll get Nixia White out fast, because it's just a good story. It'll get out quick. And maybe what I'll do is, because I'm doing simultaneous stories, one of those stories will be a Blackjack story. Jeanette wants to know, does she get extra points for getting up at 3:30 a.m. to attend? Yes, you get 1 million internet points. There you go. Hope you feel better. See? It's awesome. All right, so Emily, congratulations on winning the grand prize in the Voice Club for your story. I believe it's Paranormal Pandemic. And that's fantastic. And yeah, I think keep writing. And get those chops in and keep doing it. Congrats again. Ava James, Malcolm asks, oh my God, Chronicles of a Modern Mystic. Yes, that will get done. When? I cannot tell you. There's so much that has to happen Though for that story to get finished, a lot of things have to be kind of aligned. But yes, Ava James is near and dear, and will get done for sure. And that one really does have to happen. That's a trilogy that has to happen. So yes. Oh, so I wanted to ask you guys. We have a half an hour, 40 minutes. Really? I'm gonna talk to you guys for 40 minutes. What am I gonna say in 40 minutes? All right. So I wanted to ask you guys what you guys thought of the little moments of Zen videos that I've done 2 already that I've been putting up when I go on my walks in the middle of the morning, in the middle of the night. Really feels like. So, what you guys think about that? And get some feedback on that. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Should I stop them? They're not going to be much longer than 5 minutes. I think the last one was about 5-6 minutes. I like that length, but I just want to know. I want to know your take on them. They're not really geared towards any specific thing. They're more kind of motivational, or like I say, I call them like moments of Zen. Just these thoughts that I have, and I want to share with all of you. But I want to know what you guys think about them. Should I do them? Should I not do them? Your thoughts. Let's see. Yeah, 1440 was fun. It just came to. I've had that above my desk. I have 1440. It says "Outwork everyone." 1440, and Dolly was like, "What's that 1440 mean? What is that? Is that cryptic? What is that?" So that's how many minutes you have in a day. So 1440. So I'll keep doing them. I think 5 minutes is good. Yeah, I agree, Chris. It's you can. I don't know if you can sign up for them, but they're very Zen in the art of fast walking. They're always. I tried to start this one when I was sitting down, but I was in the middle of my walk, and I don't really like to stop. So I'll do it in the middle as I'm walking, and I gotta keep an eye on traffic because even though there's no one out in the street, I'm out in the street walking. But I try to just share some thoughts on things, general subjects that hopefully will help you start your day well and help, kind of inspire you. And just, a little bit of sage wisdom. Not that I'm not all that wise. I'm not old enough yet to be wise yet. Maybe in another 50 years. But just some of the things that I've learned, I've had an interesting life. So, and I want to share that with all of you. So, things like that. I have that book, Chris, Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Mechanics. I have that. It's a great book. Oh, Linda says, thank you. Keep doing them. They're interesting to see. I'm impressed that you're awake and so lively that early in the day. And without death wish. That's the scary part. That I'm awake and just awake. Forget awake and lively. Awake without death wish. Like that. And that energetic. You're right, Chris. Our kids think we are wise. Hello, Annie. Welcome. Yes, I'm not quite that old. So I'm not going to take Methu as a nickname. Not just yet. So I'll keep doing them, and you guys let me know. I see my hands in this video. I think it's this. Is it this? It looks like an optical illusion. Like my hands are the size of like the fists are the size of like sausage, like meat sausages. I think it's an optical illusion with the camera on the phone. Bye, Beverly. Thank you for being here. Yes, Malcolm. I train fasted. I usually get up at 4. On a regular day, I get up at 4. I train fasted, so I'll swing the kettlebells, and I'll train, and I'll go for a walk, and all that is without death wish. Then I come back, and Dolly will make death wish, or if she's still out, I'll maybe make the death wish. So yeah, that's all before 4, before death wish. All the training is done fasted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Davina. My hands look like Hulk hands. And I think this is an optical illusion because my hands are not quite that big. Jeez. It'll be scary. It's the force fist perspective. What's not true, Mary Lane? Tell me. No. No, Chris. I was wearing gloves that day. They're not that big. Hulk hands. I'm going to have to get like a green shirt. Yeah, I can't get 4 fingers in the loop of a coffee cup. I can tell you where I can get 4 fingers. In a Bubba cup. Yeah. That's why I can get 4 fingers. And this I can do 2. I can't even do 3. 2. And this is a big cup. But I think these cups are just made for small people. This is a cup made for... Dolly can fit, like... How many fingers is it, Craig? 4 fingers? Can you fit 4 fingers in this cup? Oh, wow. You could almost. You can. Dolly can fit 4 fingers. Okay. I stand corrected. I sit corrected. I like that, Jeanette. Sausage fist of feastiness or fearlessness. So, wow, it does. Even when I went like that, it looks tiny in my hands. It looks like a small cup, like a teacup. You can fit. Show them that you can fit. Look, this is Dolly's hand and 4 fingers. So yes, normal hands can fit in there. Jeez. Jeanette, let's see. With luck, I can go back to the gym next. Yes, that's awesome. Make sure that it's clean, safe, that you're not gonna get sick by going to the gym. And ease back into it. When I first started swinging the bells after, I don't know how many months off from going to the gym, 50 pounds felt heavy. I'm still swinging 50 pounds, but it's a lot manageable now. It's a lot doable now. But ease back in. Whatever you're going to do, whether it's actual weights or treadmill work or machine work, whatever it is, ease back in. Alex, I've spent too much time around Larry Diaz for you guys to talk about it. Yes, if you've been spending time around Larry, I know exactly where your mind is going. So, yeah. Let's see. I shouldn't comment where my mind went. Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. You know, our room is a clean room, but I am in John's dysfunctional family. So, I am aware. Trust me. Let's see. So, who was swinging bells? Was that you, Malcolm? Malcolm, I gave up, bought myself a bench with fittings. That's good. If I had the space, I would get a rack. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. Let's see. Mark, good afternoon. What did Mary Lane say? Not true, wise, as purely stated, wisdom is not linked to age. This is true. You don't have to be old to be wise. Wisdom is linked to experience, and experience differs from person to person. Your wisdom may not seem to be wisdom to you, but to another it is profound. Thank you, Mary Lane. I appreciate that. And I will continue to share the wisdom that I have with the Mob family, for sure. So, yeah, Mark, who was it that was getting bells? Was that Robert or Mark? Can you see? Can you go back and see? I think swinging kettlebells. I think it was Robert. Robert? Yeah, so Robert, what bells are you swinging and what weights are you at? There's so much information online now on YouTube about the exercise programs that you can use with bells. Oh, that's awesome, Jeanette, that your PT has been running Zoom sessions for training. That's fantastic. What else do we have? Oh, okay. We're going to run into the questions soon. You ready?
It should be on the top because I posted Jenny's question.
Oh, at the top of what, this? Oh, cool. Let me go there then. I may have to refresh. We're going to start questions because Audrey, the question queen, has asked some awesome questions that I don't know if I have the answers to, Audrey. But I'm going to do my best. I like to answer these questions right here, as in the show. I don't like to give them too much thought. I don't see them. Okay, got it. Dolly reposted. She added to the post. It was bumped up to the top. Okay, Audrey's questions. Are you guys ready? 50 pounds. That's excellent. That's what I've been doing, Robert. Keep working at it. All right, I'm going to ask the questions. And you guys are welcome to chime in. Audrey's first question is, what authors did you dislike at first but grew into? Shakespeare, because of school and Old English. When I first had to read them, because I didn't actually say, hey, today, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read some Shakespeare. No. When I had to read Shakespeare for school, the first English teacher that had me read Shakespeare wanted us to read it in as close to the original English as possible, which was a nightmare. And so it was basically it was basically a different language. You know, it's English, but it's Old English, and you don't really understand it until it's explained to you. So on top of trying to understand the words, and you're trying to understand the plays. So the first few times I read Shakespeare, I never understood why he was so popular or so, you know, so big. And then as I matured and I grew older, I was able to understand the plays and understand the genius behind his writing. Then I started to really like Shakespeare. And then I realized that a lot of stories are really just Shakespeare plays disguised. So yes. But for me, nowadays, what I do now, because my time is so crunched in terms of that, and this is what I've always said, and I say it to you guys, and I say it to Dolly too. You got the first sentence. If you're an author and you want to hook me to read your book or story or whatever, first sentence, first paragraph, first page, first chapter. If I'm not interested by the end of the first chapter, I'm not going to read the book, story, whatever it is. So first sentence, the first sentence should be like, whoa, okay, this person knows, I mean, I'm in. The first paragraph should be built on that first sentence. The first page should be built on that first paragraph, and the first chapter should just be built on everything else. So that's the only way you're going to catch me into something like that. So that's the way. So if I don't get past the first chapter, I'll stop the book. You know, that doesn't mean I'm gonna, you know, write a bad review because I haven't read the book, but I'm not going to leave a review, and I'm not going to finish the book. So if it's not to, I won't say I dislike it, but if it's not a book that's for me, meaning I don't connect with the character, I don't connect with the story, I don't connect with what's going on in the story, then I'm not gonna read. I'm gonna go on to something else. So, all right. What's my favorite? This is another Audrey question, the question queen. What's my favorite underappreciated novel? That's a good question. Geez. All the novels that I've read are not really underappreciated. They're all really well known in terms of, like, I've never really read like these weird, I don't even want to qualify it as weird, but as fringe writers. Most of the writers that I've read, authors that I've read, are really well known. So I don't really have a favorite underappreciated novel. Again, most of my reading material, and it's really eclectic, and I've read across many genres, but they've all been recognized, or they're all, I don't want to say masters of the craft because you never really master it, but they're very accomplished writers. So I don't have an answer for you for that one, Audrey. I don't know, because all the novels that I enjoy are really, really, really good and really well known. They're not underappreciated. Let's see. Next question from Audrey. What is your most unusual writing quirk? Jeez. I break boards as I write. No. I don't have a writing. I'm gonna say I don't have a writing quirk, but I would guess that I listen to music. I listen to vocal chants as I write, which I know a lot of writers can't do that because the music distracts them from writing. And then I know a lot of writers who need to have some music on, but they listen to a different kind of music. Like they'll listen to epic music that sounds like movie music. But I listen to vocal chants when I write. I think that's my most unusual writing quirk to date that I know of. Do I have any writing quirks? Let me ask Dolly. Do you have any writing quirks? No? Dolly says I have no writing quirks. So personally, I think it's that I write with music. I tried writing without it, and I couldn't. It was too empty. So it's too empty, like my head. So it just doesn't work for me. The music for me is like a soundtrack to the writing. So that's why I listen to vocal chants, because it's very inspirational and it's very whoa, and it's like things are happening. And so that creates for me the environment within to write. So I guess that would be my most unusual writing quirk, I guess. And that I have to drink copious amounts of Death Wish. Oh, and dark chocolate. If there's a writing quirk, I need chocolate. Because I always tell Dolly when she's out and she has to go like to CVS, I always tell her, bring me dark chocolate. Bring me peppermint patties, thins, like the peppermint patty thins, and my Hershey's dark chocolate. And I always tell her the chocolate fuels the writing, so don't forget to bring me chocolate. So I would say those are my most unusual writing quirks that I have to have. But I really can't think of any real... I don't know what you would consider a quirk. Depends on that too. All right, Jeanette asks. Oh, this is Jeanette's question about mage power levels. Okay, so Jeanette says, I actually have a question about mage power levels. Does being an archmage imply that they're the same power level, or is it a range? It implies that they're close to, pretty similar in power measures. That's why they're archmages. So it's not much of a range. It means they're peers at a very, very high level. That's what it would mean. So let's say Monty becomes an archmage. He would be on par with Julian, the archmage from the earlier books. That's about that kind of level of power. If you remember how powerful Julian was, it's scary. So that would be archmage level, and it's pretty much the same power level. Can you surpass archmage level? Yes. There are a few beings in the Monty Strong world that surpass archmage level with ease, and we'll find out more about them later on. Question number 2 from Jeanette. Simon sometimes talks about the rage. Oh yeah. I already touched on this, but I'll go into a little bit more. And it seems to be implied that this is pre-MNS. Is that part of Simon's history we're still waiting on? Yes. It'll get touched upon more. It's already touched upon in this book, Walking the Razor. It's just slightly touched on this book, like Dex alludes to something, but it gets deconstructed and it really explained in Requiem, with the story where it has dragons in it. Hashtag Craig. Okay, so yes, we do touch upon it, and the rage is there. And there's a reason why the rage is there. And he hasn't dealt with it well. Question from Malcolm. During Mob TV. Oh, when you get your first book back from editor, did it still feel like you're writing? When you got my first book back? My first book, which was The Spiritual Warriors, after a lot of false starts, right? When it came back from the editor, my editor, who is John Logsden's wife, Lorelei. I call her Lorelei, he says Lorelee. She was very well. Okay, my first editor was Dolly, but then Dolly also had kids to take care of and a husband to tend to, so it was unfair of me to make her edit my books too, because they were written in Chinese, so she had to transcribe them from my handwriting to the screen and then edit, and that was a lot for her in the midst of everything that was going on at the time. So I got another editor that would free her up from all the insanity that I was dumping on her. So, but when I got the first book back, The Spiritual Warriors, it's what Lorelei was able to do was take the writing that I gave her and help me polish it, refine it, and make it better. Hello, Kimbra. Welcome. I hope you guys, I don't know where you are in the States, but I hope you guys are okay. So, I know there are a lot of storms out all over the place. Good morning, Rebecca. If I haven't said hello to you, welcome. I've been reading questions in the group. So I haven't been looking at the feed much. So Dolly is posting stuff up from the feed so I can see it. So yes, Malcolm, it felt like my writing, but it also felt like something I had to grow into, if that makes sense. Like I hadn't found my voice yet, and I think I can honestly say that I didn't really find my voice until I got to Monty and Strong. Like it was a process. It was getting there. So if you go back from Monty Strong and you read like the first 3 books of Sepia and you read Chronicles of the Modern Mystic, you'll see the evolution as I'm getting closer and closer to Monty and Strong. So yes. Davina wants to know, who is the most powerful mage? Secret, can't tell you yet. But there is one who's very powerful. Maybe I'll make you guys guess. That'll be even more fun. From Audrey, on YouTube, if you're writing fight scenes, do you listen to exciting music? If I'm writing fight scenes, I will either listen to epic music. If you look on YouTube and type epic music, it's the music that you hear, like let's say you watch 300, right? The movie. The music that's in the background of one of their fight scenes, that's what epic music is considered, like this epic grand scale music. Or I'll listen to really powerful, it's called uplifting vocal trance, and it's just really like this uplifting music. So it's fight scenes are really like that. Yeah, so I guess that's exciting music, but it's really fast paced, amazing music. Yeah. And sometimes Dolly will see me, I'm doing weird motions with my hands because I have to figure out how certain things have to happen in an actual fight scene. And since I actually have the experience of fighting, I can pretty much visualize it, but sometimes I have to kind of work it out to see what needs to happen in space to make it come across as something that's really occurring. Like, you know, a sword thrust or a knife thrust, a blade thrust, and how it would be deflected or how it would be avoided, things like that. Yeah. Two Bands from Hell. Yes, that music is awesome. And I was thinking of using it as an alarm, Robert, to wake me up, but then it would wake up everyone. So no. But it's amazing. Rebecca, I don't know how you missed it, but you're here and we still have, I want to say 20 minutes? 20 minutes. So you're here for 20 minutes, which is awesome. All right, let me go back. Do you have any more questions? No. If you have any more questions, ask them because Dolly can write them and put them up. I'm going to go back to the actual feed, I guess. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. Noah, so if you guys don't know, Noah edited an anthology recently that has like some really heavy hitters like Piers Anthony, Kevin J. Anderson, Cat Rambo, Lawrence Y. Evans, like these really, really big names in the fantasy world kind of thing, fiction. And it's just short, funny works that these authors, Noah's amazing that he's able to get these writers to do this. So if you haven't picked it up yet, it's for a charity. Please pick up a copy and help Noah out with this charity. I can't wait to see what he does next because the fact that he was able to get all these great authors only means that when he does it again, more authors will want to like jump in and do stuff with him. So pick up Quick Draw, and it's just funny, fast and funny fiction is basically the tagline. So yeah, so go get it. It's on Amazon. Go get it. It's in the mob. There's a link, so please get it. So let's see. What is Joe saying? She's a short female badass. Who is a short female badass? I know a lot of short female. Who? She. Yes, she is a short female badass for sure. And short women are dangerous. Trust me, I married one. So they're tough and yeah, worthy to be forced to be reckoned with. Put it that way. So she is a short badass for sure. So to answer Davina's question, or Jeanette's reply to Davina's question, the older, more powerful ones are less active. Not necessarily so in terms of mages, if that's what we're talking about. It's just that they're less. I don't want to say less active, less prominent. They're more behind the scenes. Yes. Yes. See? Chris knows. Short women worth marrying. He knows. Even has me in it. Where? Oh yes, Malcolm, you're in it, right? You're in Quick Draw somehow? You're a character or something in Quick Draw? Or did you write something? I don't know. I know that it's worth picking up Quick Draw, the anthology. So go get it if you haven't already. Okay? Don't forget. Let's see what else have we got. I know there's some other books out there by authors. I don't know all of them that are out, but I know I think there's another Ian Dex that's coming out soon, if it's not out already. I think it's the most recent one that JL wrote, so pick that up. I don't know if any of the other mob authors have things. Kimbra, I don't know if you have anything. I know Kimbra was it an anthology, Kimbra? So I hope that's doing well. So yeah. Oh, Malcolm, you have a short and quick draw. Awesome. I haven't had time to read it. So, okay, so when Noah asked me to be in it, I was like, get out, I don't have time to be in anything. He said, come on, you can do this. I was like, no, I don't have time. You understand? I was still writing like 3 different things. But a while back, and then really, like, when I say a while back, I mean like 2 years, almost 3 years back, Noah and I had a haiku battle. And we still had it. So I said, why don't you just use that and put that in there? And so we found the haiku battle, and I don't know how he put it in the book, but it's in the book. So that's my participation to Quick Draw, because it's short and it's awesome. Jeanette asks, why is Michiko the head of the Dark Council, given that Akiko is more powerful? Because Akiko doesn't want the aggravation of being the director of the Dark Council, and she is an elder. So her position, her role, her position is different. She basically kind of groomed Michiko to become the head of the Dark Council, but she does not want that. So it's interesting because it's not always a matter of who has more power. It's also who's willing to take on the responsibility. And that's how that's how it is in many things, you know. But yes, she's more powerful because she can really kick Chi's butt. But she's also not interested in being a director. Oh, so we were talking about vampires. Oh, how Chi is so feared, but isn't the oldest more powerful? Okay, so the reason Chi is so feared is because she's so dangerous and willing to take the measures and do the things that other vampires would not in the Dark Council. So she has the will to do what needs to be done. Exactly. And she's not worried about being popular. She's not worried about being liked. In fact, she goes out of her way to be feared. And if you read the story, the whole thing is that it's better to be feared, respected than feared. And she says, no, it's good to be feared and respected. That's her philosophy. And so when you feel like that, when you're willing to adopt that philosophy, you will rise through ranks, especially amongst dangerous beings like vampires. And if you're willing to execute on your word, which means you're willing to take out anyone who stands in your way or who puts the group in danger, no one's going to stand in front of her. She's going to take them out. So that's why she's the leader. And she's also dangerous. She's deadly. Like, really dangerous. I don't know if she could beat Akiko, but she probably could give her a run for her money now because she kind of mastered the reaping wind and the sowing wind. Akiko's still really dangerous, but Michiko is not a slouch at all. And she managed Iker. If you remember Iker, she managed him pretty well. She's also smart. She chooses her battlefields, which is what you want to do. It's part of military strategy. You always want to choose the battlefield. If you can't choose the battlefield, chances are you're going to die. So you want to choose the battlefield. So you choose the battlefield and you pick your battles. She knows who to fight and when to fight. So there's a lot of factors that make her the leader that are drawn from actual military. Like if you look at people like, let's say, if I'm going to pick military leaders, there's so many. But let's say like someone like Patton or Churchill, despite their human flaws, because these are all flawed people, right? But they had certain principles that they live by. You know, like Churchill saying, yeah, we're not going to give up. We're going to fight till the last person. That's just the way it is. Deal with it. So, you know, all of you citizens of the UK, hunker down because we're not giving in and we're going to fight till the last person. That's Chi's mentality, you know. Even if I have to be the last person standing, I'm going to be the last person standing. And same thing with like a general like Patton, who's like, you know, he wasn't dramatic or charismatic, but he knew how to motivate his troops. And he led from the front. So he wasn't the kind of general that said, okay, guys, go get him. He was like, no, let's go get him. Same thing like, let's say, Teddy Roosevelt. Same thing. You know, when he was in the Rough Riders, the things that they did weren't great, but one of the things that inspired his men in the Rough Riders that he was in front riding. He wasn't in the back saying, okay, go capture that area. He was like, let's go. So a leader will say, let's go, not go. And that's Chi. Chi will be like, okay, we got to get our hands dirty. I'll be the first one. Things like that. So, but Davina does not love Chi. So Jeanette, that's a whole different subject. Right, exactly, Davina. I don't get into politics in the mob, but it's bottom line is get the right person for the job. You know, you know, I don't like getting into that subject. Just like I don't like getting into religion or any other thing like that touches like that's polarizing like that. But in politics, there's a lot of other factors, but you really always want the best person for the job. Yes, Davina, kind of the definition of lead, you know? It's interesting if you read the story of Churchill's life, and like I have, after the war, the country didn't need him anymore. He was definitely designed for that period in England's history. But after the war, he was kind of sidelined because that mentality and that way of being was no longer required. But he served his purpose getting England through the war. He was in the right place at the right time doing the right things. So it's things like that. So that's what Michigo is. And so you'll see her say things like, if I have to be hated, if I have to become the common enemy so that the Dark Council survives, so be it. That's what I'll do. She's not worried about being perceived that way. And she will take anyone who comes, she'll take on anyone who comes to challenge her. Exactly, Jeanette. Sometimes you have to cut out the cancer and you need the best surgeon for that job. But that surgeon doesn't go then and work on your rehab. His job is to cut out the cancer. It's things like that. Yeah, Davina, she's a conflicted character. So Davina says it's almost a redeeming feature. She leads others while she stabs you in the back. There's reasons for that gets shown later. Exactly, Malcolm. Churchill was a great war prime minister and useless in peacetime. In peacetime, the country had no need for him, and so he had to, that whole system had to be changed because you can no longer lead that way. And General Patton, right, exactly. Once the war was ended, his job was done. He did what he needed to do for the time. So that's basically what she is doing. She's doing what she needs to do for now, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot that needs to happen still with that character and with that story. And don't forget, Byako's right there. So Byako and the Shadow Dragons eventually will have their own story to tell, which would be awesome. And that's something completely that I can't go into right now because my brain would explode. So, but it's already outlined. So yeah. My brain is a scary place. I already said this. No, I'm amazed. Davina, I'm amazed you acknowledge that she almost has a redeeming feature. That's like leaps and bounds for you. Exactly, Alex. No one needs a cardiologist when you're healthy. It's good. I mean, you go through an annual checkup, but it's not like, let me go seek out a cardiologist and everything's working fine. So it's like that. Jeanette wants to know, is saying you want to get to the meeting of Chi and Simon. That's going to be interesting. I don't know. I already wrote the date. The date was fun, but that wasn't the meeting of Chi and Simon. So maybe. It's also good to keep a little bit of the mystery. So we'll see. It's like that same thing about why isn't there more romance in the book? There's a lot of romance in the book. It's just it's not paranormal romance writing. So it's not the focus of anything. But there's a lot of romance. There's there's Roxanne and Monty. There's plenty of romance there. There's Chi and Simon. There's a lot of romance there. Dex and the Morrigan. A lot of romance there. So there's a lot of romance. It's just, it's not sex. Exactly, Chris. There's a lot of romance, not sex. It's more relational, and there's so much going on that it's tangential to what's happening. Part of it is instrumental to what's happening, but there's a lot of romance. But it's not sex. It's not overt. It's understood. And it's there, and it's present, and it informs their decisions and their choices, but it doesn't overrule everything. Like Monty casting blood magic to save Roxanne is romantic. He really cares for her, but he's not gonna say that. I don't think he'd ever say that because it's just not who he is. But he'll demonstrate it. Peaches and Rags. There you go, Cynthia. That's real romance. So it's there. It's in the story. Exactly. Phrasing. It's in there. But it's not ever going to be paranormal romance. If I ever write a paranormal romance, and I might at some point, I will certainly let the mob know. It's not going to be Monty and Strong. That's for sure. It just won't. That's just not the world for it. I'd have to create a whole new world for something like that. And a whole new name. Yeah, Dex is way in over his head, Tina, for sure. I allude to the fact that the Morrigan chooses Dex because Dex is so powerful, but there's no way he can keep up with her. She's just way, way above his level, Jeanette says, actually, I love that the romance is normal background on life. It's not the point of the story, but it's the life of the characters. It's like real life. You know what I mean? Like, if you're only going to have romance, which is usually the beginning of the story and the beginning of a relationship, but at some point it has to evolve past that too. It has to include the romance and everything else. Oh, Malcolm, listen, I've had a lot of people asking me, why is it Monty Strong an MM story? And I'm like, nope, sorry. And in my ads, like when you see the images, a lot of people are saying, is this going to be MM? Is this a gay couple? I'm like, no. And JL makes it really fun of it. Let's see, he calls out Tom. So the first book, Tomb Yards and Butterflies, is Tom Yards and Butterfly. And so that's the MM version. And we don't have sparkling vampires either. No, my vampires do not sparkle. And it's great that vampires are broad enough that you can kind of have your own take on them, which is awesome. That's the one thing that doesn't seem to be present. The relationship between Simon and Monty is that of brothers. So that is why it's important for what's happening in Walking the Razor to happen. So if there's any kind of relational love there, it's the love of a brother for a brother. And you'll see that as they go through the situations, you know? Wow, that's congratulations, Jeanette. 31 years, that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Cynthia, romances and sex. It goes back to almost like to wooing, back to those days. Congratulations, Jeanette, again. That's fantastic. No, LD has TK. LD and TK are very romantic with each other. And anyone who messes with LD would have to face TK. I don't think there's anyone in the MS world who would want to take on TK. And at least intentionally. So, yeah, you wouldn't want to mess with TK at all. Not even, like, as a joke. No. So, see, I see LD and TK, and of course I'm dating myself, and we're almost done. Man, this time, now it went by fast. So I see LD and TK. If you remember Morticia and... God, what's the husband's name? Morticia, the Addams Family. Jeez, how can I forget the husband's name? Well, her husband, Morticia and her husband. Their relationship, huh? Gomez, yes, Gomez. I knew it was a Spanish name. Yeah, and I knew it was a G name. But so Gomez and Morticia, right? How they interact and how weird it is in a sense, like they're like, thank you guys, Alex and Davina, it's Gomez. The way they interact and the way they express their caring for each other, that's basically LD and TK in the way they express their caring for each other. It's unique to them. It's their own way of expression. It's amazing to watch, and then you realize only LD could be with TK and only TK could be with LD. There's no other person who would understand them. And then when they express it, even though they're among other people, they express it in a way that's just awesome. This is an awesome relationship to see. And so you'll see things like, even in this story, in Walking the Razor, like, oh, you don't have to scare her or something like that when they were talking about Jessica. And so, yeah, but I didn't shoot her. I didn't destroy her. I didn't blast her to bits, right? See, I'm being civil. So it's things like that. But yes, they are definitely in love. So it's not just romantic, but they're in love. And they also constantly express it. So it's important. Yes, and also to have her figure, because the actress that played Morticia was in good shape. Back then, I was like, whoa. And the dresses that she had to wear, I don't know how she breathed in those things. I mean, she wasn't really thin. She was curvy, but those dresses were tight. And so I don't know how she moved around. And anytime she walked, it was funny because I think she had to shuffle because the dresses were so tight. So like Tina says, LD might be in over his head, but they're definitely in love. He's not so much in over his head. In a relationship, there's always one that's more outgoing and more present. You can see them more. Hello, Pat. Welcome. But LD is just as dangerous as TK. It's just that he's a little bit more relaxed about it. And TK would be considered intense. And so LD is the foil to TK. So where TK is intense, LD is relaxed. And where LD is intense, TK is relaxed. So they're very yin and yang. Because there's this book where LD was... I forget what book it is at this point. I have to look it up. Well, LD's on the rampage. And it's only TK that kind of brings him back and checks that power. So LD's not a slouch either. So, but he's just more relaxed about things. And TK would just, rather just, snap you in half first. Yeah, LD has the quiet. The way I imagine LD as a character is that he has the power. He has like Simon. He has rage, but he has managed to temper it. And what has helped him temper that rage is TK. Simon doesn't have a TK because Chi isn't a perfect foil for Simon. So even though they have a relationship, it hasn't quite evolved to that point yet. So TK is a balance for LD, and LD is a balance for TK. So they work in conjunction, the two of them. It's very yin yang. Davina, exactly. Yeah, he can hold his own. Think about the fact that he's the only one that could mouth off to TK without worrying about dying. So, yeah, exactly, Malcolm. LD's a slow boil. TK is a supernova. And exactly like that, Tina. Extrovert and introvert. TK is the extrovert. She'll blast everything, and LD is, a little bit more laid back. Jeanette, in a way, it's not that Peaches is Simon's foil, but more his conscience. Conscience. So maybe too much death wish. His conscience. He helps Simon kind of stay grounded. You'll see more of it over more stories as things start getting they start progressing even more. But what Peaches does to Simon is Peaches gives Simon something to think about outside of himself. Bye-bye, Audrey. Thank you so much for the questions. Have a great weekend. Yeah, we're almost done here. I think we're over time. Jeez. All right, we're over time, guys. Listen. I'm going to continue doing our moments of Zen. They're going to be spontaneous, so I can't tell you when they'll happen. They'll just happen. Probably around the morning walks, but I'll try and see if I can fit them at different times of the day, And I want you to stay safe. Wear your mask. I know the news cycle has been dominated by the American election and all that stuff, but we are still in the middle of a pandemic, okay? So, wear your mask when you go outside. Social distance. Wash your hands. These things are really important. At least, I know it's happening in other parts of the world that we're starting to see spikes again, but please, just be safe, okay? It's not just for you, it's for everyone in your life as well. So, be kind and be compassionate. Think about the people around you. Don't just take care of yourself physically, take care of yourself mentally. Take a break. Take a break from the news cycle. Take a break from everything. Go outside. Go for a walk. Enjoy. Right now in New York, we're having amazing weather. It's like 60-something, almost 70 degrees. Go out for a walk, okay? Enjoy the day. Get away from the screens. That's our ongoing battle with our little ones, with the tribe, is get away from the screens. Put the phones away. Put the iPods away. Let's go. Let's go outside. So, go outside. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the sun. Even if it's overcast, go outside and enjoy some of the day. So take care of yourself physically. Take care of yourself mentally. It's really important, okay? And if you're in a storm area, be aware that a storm may be headed your way. So take the necessary precautions. Stock up. And, all the things that you may need to do to weather the storms. So I want you guys to have a great weekend. Oh, don't forget that next week, was it Wednesday, the 11th? Is Veterans Day. So to all of those who have served, who have sacrificed. So it's not Memorial Day, it's Veterans Day. So these are for the living veterans. Okay, Memorial Day is for the ones who fell in the line of duty. This is for those who have served and have, protected our country. And this is for veterans really everywhere in the world, okay? They gave of themselves so that we could be sitting comfortably and not have to worry about other countries attacking us, okay? So I want to salute all the veterans that, you know, made a sacrifice so that we could have safety in our country, have safety around the world, really. And the ones who are still out there, there's still a lot of veterans who are actively serving right now, and their families. Because when a soldier goes out, they're not going out alone. Their families are out there with them. They're concerned, they're thinking about them. It's always on their mind. So not just the veterans, but the veterans and their families. Most of them, you know, I get to see my kids every day, but they could be overseas and they see their kids over a computer, or they see their kids once every 6 months, or when they come back from deployment. So let's honor the veterans. You see a veteran, not just on Veterans Day, because I do it all the time. You see a veteran, just say thank you. It's a real simple thing, but it's important. You know, you see someone who served, or they're wearing their hat from where they served, or, you know, just say thank you. Thank you. Like the ones who served during World War II, some of them are still around. World War I, not so much, because that's 1918, so they're really old right now. But World War II, there's still a lot of veterans from World War II, and all the other wars subsequent to that, Vietnam, Korean War, all the other conflicts that we've had around the world. Just say thanks. Thank you for your service. It doesn't take a lot, doesn't cost you anything, and it's a little bit of recognition that for them goes a long way. So next Wednesday is Veterans Day. In Australia, it's Remembrance Day. So if you see a veteran, just say thank you. It's that simple. And, you know, show them a little bit of kindness, and it's amazing how far that goes. And there's a real issue with veterans that, you know, they fall into depression, they come back with PTSD. So if you show them a little bit of kindness, it makes a big difference in their lives, you know? Yeah, I think I will, Davina, because that's important. Maybe next Wednesday I'll do that. I think it's worth it. It's only 5-6 minutes, but it's worth it. So I want you guys to have a great weekend. Enjoy the rest of today and enjoy this weekend. Have fun, go out, spend time with your family, give them a hug and a kiss, because that's important, and be excellent. Bye.